Because you are a chosen race. You are a royal priesthood, a holy nation, a people for his own possession, that you will proclaim the wonderful things of him who called you out of darkness into this marvelous light. Do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewal of your mind. Set apart and set aside and do his work and bring him glory. Come on.
I'm not trying to blend in, I'm trying to stand out. I've been set apart for greatness, it's already planned out.
Hello, welcome to Truth Prevails. I just want to put this quick video because we was in a live chat with the Hebrew Israelites. One of the Hebrew Israelites in the comment section, he said this. He says, you got to let the precepts show you, brother, not commentaries. And this is a teaching that they take out of context from Isaiah, where it says precept upon precept, line upon line, where they use that verse to try to determine how they interpret doctrine. So they say, okay, you got to go here, a little bit here, a little bit there. But the problem is that's not how you're supposed to kind of interpret the doctrine. That Isaiah wasn't telling us this is how you interpret the scriptures. But they take that verse, kind of like a Jehovah's Witness when they do Proverbs 4:18. They take one verse and then try to make that the standard for the whole Bible, even though we don't see that all around. So I had found the video I had watched before with some other Christians where they confronted some Hebrews about doing this. And in the Hebrews, he had to say he was wrong. But you still have brothers going around trying to use this unbiblical standard. But that happens when we ignore the context and ignore what the actual writer wanted us to know and how to read it. So just watch this clip. It's important. So when you engage with these Hebrews, you have to call them out on their hypocrisy. God bless.
Okay, so now what was your question?
You was going to show us where it said that he was that the Son of God was created.
Mm-hmm. You called out the scripture, so I don't know. I'm going to go to the same one that you called out, John 1:1. Mm-hmm. So that's why I stopped and I had that dialogue first, because clearly we're going to be looking at the same scriptures. I'm going to say how I interpret the scripture.
Oh.
I'm not saying like it's going to be my own opinion. I'm saying I'm going to look and see what's there. I'm going to give you that, but we clearly have a disagreement with the same scripture, right? Mm-hmm. All right.
Well, I can't say it's a disagreement out here with you, because then I wouldn't be fair to you to say you
fair enough.
Right.
Fair enough.
You want to read it off?
John chapter 1 and verse 1. In the beginning. Go ahead.
St. John chapter 1, verse 1. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with the Most High, and the Word was the Most High. The same was in the beginning with the Most High. All things were made by him, and without him was not anything made that was made. In him was life, and the life was the light of men, and the light shineth in darkness, and darkness comprehended it not. There was a man sent.
Let's stop right there.
Right.
So we're going to go right there.
Right.
Basic. Go right back to Genesis 1:1. You don't want to go there?
I don't think it's. Well, we can. See, for me, I'm an old man, and see, I have to take in step by step.
We're gonna go back and forth, so it's not like
Right.
move forward.
But I guess for me, I'm trying to see if the verse was clear enough that we have to go to someone else.
All I'm doing is pacing ourselves. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to be moving. I don't like to go over scriptures real fast. You just ask me a question. I want to make sure that I answer that.
Right. And see, and I like to see, for me, it's the context that was given in. And if I jump somewhere else when it's not needed, then I got to remember.
Well, see, we don't know if it's not needed yet. Let's just go here and we'll read it, and then we'll go back and forth from there. What's wrong with that?
So are we comprehending what the word is?
That's what I'm saying. I'm trying to comprehend because the question on the table is that the Son of God was created, and so going back to where he is, And I thought that's why we went there, because he said he was using that because he knew where I was going to go and whatnot.
See,
so
that's why I was saying before, I wasn't trying to engage and all that. You asked me a question, I'm just trying to give you my understanding. Now, when I give you my understanding, you can go any way you seek to go. Is that okay?
Yeah.
You sure?
I don't think it's going to get us to a sound answer.
Did that didn't answer your question?
No.
Well, see, that's the reason why we're going in here. That's why we got to go
means
one
that he was
scripture at a
created.
time. Right. So this is a precept. This is a precept.
Oh,
so this is precept upon precept.
See, because soon you bring that up, then that caused me to ask another question. What do you mean by precept?
Okay, well look, go to Isaiah 28:9.
Okay.
A precept is pretty much a law that was given, something that was in Torah, where you can go through both places, more than one places, and see where that law was given. You can go to another place, see the exact same law, how it was used.
And that's what it's going to give us in Isaiah 28:9 and 10?
No, I'm just giving you the definition. You said what was a precept. So
Right, and I can't remember because everybody kind of talking, and somebody said, well, let's go to Isaiah 28. So if I go somewhere, I'm going there for a reason. So in my mind, I'm thinking I'm going there a reason to back up. Here's why I'm using this.
Just answer your questions. It's not. I'm just trying to answer your questions.
I mean, but you are asking them in a way that you would like for me to understand what it is that you're conveying, though, right? Because if I just answer,
I get that, but I haven't even been able to read the scripture yet. So
Isaiah 28:9. That's where you're going. Okay.
Isaiah chapter 28 and verse 9.
Isaiah chapter 28 and verse 9. Whom shall he teach knowledge? And whom shall he make understand doctrine? Them that are weaned from the milk and drawn from the breast.
Okay, so here it's clearly talking about the Mashiach Yahushua, or the spirit of the Mashiach Yahushua, the spirit of the Most High. Who is he going to give an understanding heart? Who is he going to teach knowledge to?
Now, is that the context of that verse?
Let's keep on reading. We'll go and look.
Verse 10. For precept must be upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line upon line, here a little and there a little.
Now, if we was to go and look at what a precept was in the Strong's, could I do that? Is that okay?
Well, I already agree with you that a precept is a command.
Okay.
Right.
Okay, well, look, if we go there, it's no point in going back and forth.
Right. But here, what we're saying is for the context of that, is that the context that when you went to 9 and 10, because remember, we were in there and pulled out something. So is that the context that God is saying, this is how you teach?
This is how he has us to understand doctrine.
So
when you ask me a question, I say, okay, well, let me show you. I'm showing you how I understand it. That's why I go back and forth to show a precept.
Oh, so how you might understand is not how the author intended it?
I'm not saying none of that. I don't know what you mean by that. All I'm saying is the way I understand it is there's Torah, there's laws given, right? Then, throughout the entire Bible, from Genesis all to Revelation, there's statutes and judgments and laws that we all have to keep, right? Now, meditating on these precepts, going back and forth, here a little, there a little, right? This is how we understand how the Most High thinks, his laws, his statutes, and his commands, right? That's what I understand a precept to be. So when you ask me a question, I'm going to show you a precept. I'm going to go where it was over here, and I'm going to show you where it is over here, so I can show you the whole picture from what I see it.
All right, so that's how you see it. But from the writer's perspective, that's not how he's using it.
Okay.
So then if you're saying that, then that's an error. If you're using it that way and the writer's not using it that way, then contextually, you have become an error. Not the writer, but the way that you're using your premise is wrong.
I have a question for you.
Okay.
So when John was writing his whatever, let's just go to the prophet Isaiah. He was a great prophet, right?
That is Isaiah.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, it is Isaiah.
I know. I'm talking about. Let's just go to him as a topic, not in the book. We're already there, right? The prophet Isaiah, when he wrote everything down, did he know all things?
When he wrote his book. So what you're talking about right there is you're talking about revelation without illumination. No, he might not have known all things, but we're talking about what we talking about.
Okay.
And so you know that that's not the context in which that's used.
My whole point is, if he was only writing with the knowledge that he was given to him at that particular time, why are you saying that we should only look at it the way that he saw it at that time when we are here with the volume of the book?
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Right. So what I'm saying is you have the full volume of the book, and he's not teaching that. So why are you teaching it? Nor is that taught in the book anywhere.
Because if he was intended to have the volume of the book, he would have had the volume of the book.
But
he
him
wasn't
having
intended.
the volume of the book and you fully having the volume of the book does not change.
Isaiah did not have the volume of the book
Let me
because it was not intended for him to have the volume of the book.
Let me express it this way from a scripture. Let me express it this way if you don't mind. Let me express it this way if you don't mind, from a scripture perspective. Here's what we have to be careful, because the same thing that I'm holding you to, you have the right to hold me to. Because if I turn around and say, now all of a sudden I got a revelation or something that was not in scripture, you have the right to say, well, what did you come with that at? Because if we're talking about the volume, wait, bear with me, because if we talk about the volume of the book itself tells us that the things that were not known in the old time. He didn't leave it to us to come up to say, well, here's what I believe that it is. And see, because we get that, that's how we got different denominations, different camps, because, just bear with me, because then we leave it to our own interpretation, and I believe that God wanted all of us to understand His word, and whatnot, so He took it away from me, where I shouldn't have to bring it. That's why we come back to talking in context. Yes, we know that we will go over here, but to say that is a way to teach, and then to go to a verse.
I didn't say that. I never said that.
So that's not.
I never
So
said that.
question. So why are you using this example on precept?
Because you asked me what a precept was. I said, okay, well, I'm gonna show you what my understanding of a precept is, and we went there.
Your understanding is that's how you teach, right?
That was an assumption.
That's what you said.
Is it?
No,
So
it's not
here's
what
the
I
question:
said.
is
You
it or
got the
is it
camera
not?
on your sunglasses.
Yeah.
Back
So
I never
is
said
it or is it not how you interpret your scriptures through precepts?
Absolutely.
So then, like I said, this is where you're getting it from to say this is how you teach, and what I'm telling you, how you're using it contextually is wrong.
I got you. Okay, so my whole point is this. I haven't even been able to show you a full precept because you haven't been able to let me read the scripture.
So first thing we got to do this. We got to define if you using it right or not. And if we see
You can't even
that
get there because we haven't even went through a full precept yet.
Listen, the thing is this, like y'all do this every day, we do it every day.
Yeah.
We've been through Isaiah 28, 9, 10.
That's
We
where I
know
wasn't trying to
if
go.
somebody
Look.
uses
Well, no, but we're not.
Hold on, wait. I said that in the first place. Like, look, if we're going to dialogue to make sure that we have an understanding amongst brothers, look, I'm down with it. But if it's going to turn into nothing but a chess match, who can checkmate who? then look,
No, but it's not. But we're not debating.
Finish. If it's only going to be who can checkmate who, I'd rather not dialogue with that at all because we're going to be spinning our wheels in the mud,
Right.
and there's people over
Right.
there that's hopping on
Right,
buses.
right.
Going
Well,
back.
I got you. Because
So
in other
that's why
words,
I
if we
said
don't
in the
agree,
beginning, if it's
so in
gonna
other
turn
words,
to that,
if the
then
dialogue
we can go
means,
ahead and set it up for another
so in
time,
other words,
and
if
we
the
can close
dialogue,
the books.
so in other words, if
You
the
know what I'm saying?
dialogue means that you don't agree with
I'm
me
not
with the
saying
scripture, I don't agree with you, then we can't talk. Sometimes, bear with me. Sometimes, even if we don't see something, I might could walk away and say, well, you know, after thinking about it, I might be able to say, as long as we're not that debating, because I don't like that. All I'm trying to do is to go along step by step and not throw a whole lot of things, and then I don't allow nobody to throw a lot at me because I ain't gonna remember all that. Then I can't give a reply.
You said that, and I was trying to show you one precept, and I never got to it. And so I'm not gonna.
Well,
I don't want to sit up here and be like, oh, well, you gonna listen to me. That's not even the
Right,
way.
right.
You my elder, and I respect you. We all one people, one nation out here, and whether everybody understand it or not, I still gonna love y'all and respect y'all at the end of the day, regardless. But it's kind of hard for me to hear you say that when I was trying to give you my understanding on one question, and you wouldn't let me complete it.
But you remember, that's why when you started, I said, why are we going there?
And I said, let me show you. I'll show you why we're going there.
Well, we got into going.
Okay, can you bear with me?
Remember, we went to John. And then we wanted to go to Genesis. And I was like, wait a minute. Then we went to Isaiah.
That's one complete precept.
God was with me through it all.